about wasted potential.
Trust me, if I knew that there was going to be a Nintendo Direct just 2 days after the PC Gaming Show, I wouldn't have touched the PC Gaming Show. I would have just delayed that video and added the Nintendo Direct in as the big finale. But instead, all the SNES Classic got to cover was a bunch of friggin' indie games. Who cares?
But whatever. I can't see the future, so I have to do this by myself. Don't worry about the thing. I wasn't kidding about Nintendo. Those things are indestructible. Anyway.
Rhythm Heaven Groove. Oh please, oh god, tell me that I can disable the robot voice. Now I was originally dead set on getting this one back when it was first announced, but now that I know that I'm not going to be able to get any money over this summer, I'm thinking maybe I should just try Ryu-jinxing it. Onimusha Way of the Sword. Now, I've been kind of looking forward to this one because the original Onimusha, screwing around in development, was one of the big catalysts for creating Devil May Cry. So this one should be really good. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no! Dragon's Dogma 2. Call me a pessimist, but anytime I see action RPG, these days, my instant thought is that it's just going to be another Souls-like. Although I did see some climbing, and after Gen Atlas was re-announced, I've been thinking about Shadow of the Colossus. Stellar Blade is coming to the Switch too? Jeez, they really are trying the whole ultimate port machine tactic again, huh? Orbitals is still the only Switch 2 exclusive that has any interest to me. That and maybe Kirby Air Riders. I still have no idea why Rayman Legends needed a full remake. That was a Wii U game and a 2D platformer. Those things don't age. Big Walk. When this was first announced, I thought it was going to be like a parody of Journey, but now it seems more like a chat room. This is why the term friend slop exists. You ever wanted to play Diner Dash with One Piece characters? What is wrong with you? Pokemon Pokopia is getting free DLC that lets you go underwater. Listen, the only thing I know about Pokemon Pokopia is more information on Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. Now, normally I have 3 counters for genres I don't care about, FPSs, RTSs, and roguelikes, but because this is the first Fish Game News video to be edited on Kden Live through Arch Linux instead of VideoPad through Windows, I think I'm going to just reduce that to 1 counter for turn-based RPGs, so let's start that. Ninjala 2. Everything in this game looks like cheap plastic. DK Challenge. You play the Donkey Kong games and NES remix-style challenges, and if you become the king of the Kongs, you get a bunch of collectible cards that do jack squat. Why is this a limited time thing? There's also some Donkey Kong Bonanza DLC related to Mario's 40th anniversary. You might have missed the boat on that. And on the topic of DK Bonanza, I know that's one of the big Switch 2 exclusives, but every time I go to Target, I start up the demo, I disassociate, and by the time that I regain consciousness, my parents are calling me telling me it's time to go. There's a Vampire Survivor spin-off with Jujutsu Kaisen. Normally I would skip this because it's a roguelike, but we're not doing that this time. So now I get to talk about Jujutsu Kaisen. I don't like it! The fights themselves are okay, but every arc feels completely disjointed, as if it's just a bunch of random events happening. And combine that with the bog standard school setting, and it just feels like a whole lot of nothing is happening anywhere. Which would be perfectly fine. I'm totally okay with just a bare bones plot just to connect the fight scenes, but the problem is it pretends to be something more than it actually is. And then Gojo's over there spouting a bunch of commie nonsense, and I watch anime to get away from that crap. Now, admittedly, I've only seen Season 1 and the Zero movie, so maybe it changes later on, but still, first impressions are lasting impressions. If it starts bad, it's bad.
Are you up for the challenge in these games?
Let me guess. Souls-likes.
Yep. Yeah. Okay, alright, a real gamer's game, Devil May Cry 5. It's interesting that you put this one in the challenge section when it's known for being the easiest game in the series other than that one. But seeing as how you're playing Pikmin for a third of the game, it's no doubt gonna feel right at home on Nintendo. But with that said, I broke my creed. I got the entire series on Steam for $15, so I already have DMC5 on my Steam Deck. Mermoth of the Demon Blade is a game that I sometimes think about maybe touching maybe once. I think we used to have it on an external hard drive that we connected to the Wii and accessed via Neo Gamma. That hard drive died a long time ago. All the numbered Xenoblade games are getting remastered for the Nintendo Switch 2, and there's also a new Xenoblade game for the Sega Genesis. So if you're the kind of person who likes running around like a chicken with its head cut off, waiting for a bar to fill so you can perform one attack, then you got yourself a date. Also, I like the name Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, Nintendo Switch 2 Edition.
Next.
Nuh-uh, no way, nuh-uh. Nintendo Switch Sports Resort. That is amazing, but it's not a system seller. I mean, I haven't even played the original Nintendo Switch Sports. I mean, yeah, Wii Sports was a system seller, but that was 20 years ago. It was a novel thing. It's not a novel thing 0 years ago. It's not gonna sell it. Oh god, no, I'm into it! Of course, they did their big demonstration using probably the least interesting sport out of all of them, thumb wrestling. Come on, show me boxing. I want to know what a next Punch-Out was gonna look like. And they didn't even do the 1, 2, 3, 4, right, declare thumb war thing, so what's the point? RuneScape, yeah, we just saw this one at SGF. Hello Kitty Party Land, yeah, that's what people are looking for in a direct. Yeah, hello friggin' kitty. Oh boy, now I get to talk about the new, in air quotes, Star Fox. It's a remake of Star Fox 64, a 1-to-1 remake of Star Fox 64. Starship exists. It is a decompilation of Star Fox 64 that runs on everything. And also, the remake looks ugly. Oh, sweet, a new Final Fantasy game. They've been hitting it out of the park with their action RPGs. Most of them have been topping my list of best video games of all time. And look, this one's even in the HD 2D art style that I love so much. Oh. Okay, let's bring back that counter. Pikuniku 2, a sequel to a game I've never heard of. This feels like a first-party Sony game from like the PS1 or early PS2 era, more than anything. Duskbloods. The chat was in agreement, we all thought it was going to be Castlevania. Griffith stared intently at his precious behelit. Its numerous protrusions slid around the egg until finally it resembled a face suffering in agony. The sun was eclipsed, the sky turned the same crimson shade as the stone's bloody tears, and the souls of the condemned began to inhabit the earth beneath him. The guardian angels were arriving, and only he among the band knew what was to come. Splatoon Raiders. I never actually caught the stealth announcement of it originally, so none of this means anything to me. And it also gets its own custom Joy-Cons that change basically nothing. Deltarune. Alright, go ahead and hit the counter, but I mean, it's Deltarune. This means people will shut up about it. And also, I'm definitely ready for some more Snowgraven. I know you want what's on my mind, and I know you like what's on my mind, and I know it eats you up inside. I know you know, you know, you know. Minecraft. Well, I guess it has been quite a while since I've made my opinion known on it. It sucks. Now we get a bunch of ports and one giant scissor reel just kind of go by, including Tomb Raider dropping in T-10. If they don't care, I don't care. Though I do want to mention something. Japan got Toho Embodiment of Scarlet Devil in their Nintendo Direct. And we got DayZ. We got snubbed. All the Kingdom Hearts games are coming to the Nintendo Switch 2 natively, and as a result, the old Cloud Edition, the Integra Masterpiece versions, are being delisted and taken offline next year. And nothing of value was lost. Wait, whoa, you can't just drop a Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer at the end of a Nintendo Direct when Summer Games Fest was just a few days ago, what? But of course that wasn't the real final announcement, that was a third-party thing. The final announcement's always the first-party one, and guess what it is? That's right, the heavily rumored Ocarina of Time remake. Now here's the thing, I watch these to sell my stuff on Nintendo Switch 2, I see this, and either they're not going to change a thing, in which case, or they are going to change a thing, in which case, I don't want it. Because Eiji Aonuma doesn't even understand why people want more linear Zelda games.
And that was the Direct. There's a lot of stuff there that would have been amazing if I had a Switch 2. But as someone who doesn't have a Switch 2, that's not enough. For one thing, they're increasing the price. Originally, I was going to say either drop the price or give me a bunch of crazy games that I want. Now it's got to be both or I'm not buying. But honestly, I think I just kind of left the ecosystem.
The way Nintendo still has their giant following is because they've created their own ecosystem. Mario, Zelda, Metroid, Kirby, Star Fox, Pokemon, they all feel connected in some way. If you like one, they'll probably like the others, and that goes for most of their other series. And since they're all first-party titles, they're only officially available on Nintendo systems. Couple that with how they're normally the budget option, and most of their games are wholesome family fun, and you have generations of kids who know Nintendo, and only Nintendo. And when they grow up, Nintendo is still their best reference for quality games, so they stick with Nintendo. In essence, they've made their own cult, one that I was once proud to say that I was a part of. And once you get in, it's hard to get out.
But actually looking at what I care about regarding Nintendo, there isn't a whole lot. Smash Brothers is always the big one, but even then, it's more fun to speculate about it than to actually play it. Mario is just a formality. I haven't bought a Kirby game in over a decade. Pokemon I've only cared about the 5th generation. Zelda isn't even Zelda anymore. I never cared about Fire Emblem or Xenoblade. And that pretty much just leaves Star Fox, which just keeps reiterating the same game over and over again, so what's the point? And then you got Metroid, which there's a million Metroidvanias out there. And Bayonetta, which is just a spiritual successor to Devil May Cry, which is still better than Bayonetta. So why do I still care? Why do I still want to sell myself on the Switch 2? Because they've latched onto me. You want to know why I care so much about Nintendo? Because I got a Wii U! I wasted my childhood on the Wii U! And now I've got to live with it because I've got nothing else that can go there!